Spoiler alert, you're going from having a fair amount of decent options to choose from to an overwhelming array of excellent choices to consider. Sounds to me like a good problem to have. What's up, everybody? It's me, Danae. I'm here with a message for you. It is Friday, August 7th, 2026. Let's see what time it is. It's a little late. 7:10. 1 o'clock. I hope you're doing well. Don't know exactly if we're going to continue on with that, but hey, it's possible. We know that Lionsgate is already open, and officially it is tomorrow on 8/8, of course. And between that and the new moon, it's just prime time to just call it as you desire it. Don't limit yourself on what you can project to manifest, what you can attract, to call in, to bring into fruition, no matter what the present circumstances may look like, what the obstacles may present themselves to be or may have even been in the past. No limitations whatsoever on what you can create in this present moment. All right, and that's just not by the matter of your hands, but also by your words, your thoughts, and your intentions. Okay, so let's see what we got here. I hope you are doing amazing. All ready for Lionsgate, however you prepare or don't. I hope you make the most out of the energy, indeed, or allow it to make the most out of you. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, you see how that twisted? That really wanted to come out. Chariot, that's a good start. It's an excellent start, as a matter of fact. What about the Chariot? Oh no, that's not. This is strong will, determination, unyielding ambition, and maybe even passion toward some type of achievement or accomplishment, maybe to just rest. maybe it takes a lot. I need some water. Or to surrender, to be at ease and at peace. For it may be harder to come by for some to kind of just like, I don't know, it's like it might take quite a bit of effort to go with the flow, if that makes sense. Like you have to be very intentional and proactive about submission and surrender. Yielding, though, to perhaps work that's already been done. A drive and an ambition that's already done the work before this present moment or before a particular time, where all that you can really do or all that's left to do is just trust. Yeah. Trust that it's all working out. And not just working out, but working out in a highly favorable way as far as you're concerned. But let's see what else. Let me get one between these two. Let's see. Because it could definitely be the hardest thing for someone that's just always used to being active, working hard, facing challenges, and always kind of on guard or ready for war, ready for battle. That's where I'm getting that from. So it could be quite a change underway where you get to literally lay down your sword and find yourself at peace and at ease, maybe just in recovery, truly, from all the work and dedication and labor that has already been exerted, maybe perhaps during previous seasons or even just up until this very moment. You come to a point of surrender, peaceful surrender though. That's what I'm getting. Let's see, what else though? Let me just get one. Wow. Yeah, because it's like you've already dug the wells, so to speak, for overflow. You did that. You did that. You did it in the trenches. You did it by yourself, perhaps. You did it with very little support or defense, backup to some degree, maybe, to some degree. Certainly with the Divine's endorsement by the looks of this Ace of Cups, but there's something that you just worked perhaps tirelessly on or really diligently to secure. And this is confirmation that you did that. Whatever it is, like, you did it. It's like literally nothing more for you to do but just to receive, to rest, recover, and receive. Wow, look at that, the World card. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Yeah, that cycle of working your fingers to the bone or yourself into exhaustion, or working so, feeling like you're just relentlessly at war and in conflict or at odds, or pushing back against resistance or whatever. The Chariot is just literally insufferable when it comes to forward march on a goal or an object, or an acquisition or territory, whatever it is that's in front of him to conquer. He's going to keep going until he absolutely does so. And usually you might take a lot of bumps and bruises along that way. And there's something here, as I'm saying, that's just like really closing about that way of achievement and accomplishment. It's not to say there's not more work to be done or there's not more to conquer or to triumph, more ways to triumph, but it just won't be in the ways that you have always been used to. And it's like you're gonna look back at that time frame or that season in your life, those circumstances perhaps, with I just get this sense of endearment, like fond memory, even though it might have been hard. But it's like, kind of back to the beginning message, where you may even be able to practically remember once upon a time when you could only afford X, Y, and Z, but now, like, maybe you could only afford to shop at to shop at the Goodwill. Not that that's, taboo, because people do that for sport now. It's fun, and it's favorable, but just imagine, like, that was your only option because you couldn't afford to even buy Walmart prices, which, hell, these days the Goodwill is more expensive than that. Am I right? But to go from only being contained to a certain what's the right word, containment of privilege or allotment or whatever the case may be, to now being able to buy whatever you want, literally to buy any designer brand that you would want to if you so chose to, and having the option still to be able to say, this is what I want to do or choose to do with my money, but it's not because this is all that I can do, something like that, where you would look back at those times, hopefully, especially if you're healed and whole, as this kind of depicts to me, you would look back at that time fondly, like, man, remember when ... those was the days, and you would find something favorable to reflect on, even as it is the contrast of where you are now, but yeah, I got that. So whatever is new on the horizon, or a new experience, or even a new normal, it certainly is a vast difference from where you've come from or what you've known, but it still doesn't that difference, as a matter of fact, is what ultimately what's the right word, like I don't know what the right word is, but it kind of like curates a deeper appreciation for the entire span of your life experience. The times when you had to fight tooth and nail, the times when there was always something happening or something that you had to prepare for, waiting for the other shoe to drop, and so on and so forth, to now a time when that energy is either just non-existent, completely released from your auric field, or just so far and few in between, or here it is, where you just have the resources and the capability to approach, maybe even confront it or manage it in such a way that it's of no consequence, something like that. There's definitely a big change. The world is certainly a confirmation of that. Let's see. The magician came out yesterday, I believe, or the other day. Yeah, like, you literally can make something shake upon your command. There you have every resource at your disposal to create at will, or to be attractive to whatever your heart desires. Another confirmation for this portal, where you get to transport yourself into the minefield of limitlessness. A stark contrast from, as I said in the very beginning, when you only have but so much to work with, and you just had to make do. You had to alchemize to sustain, or to um, supplement or substitute what you really desired to have, and for what maybe you didn't have the option to attain, or didn't have at your disposal, but you may do though, and that's the beautiful part. And I think there's some type of quote where something along the lines of like, in the end, like the beauty was in, you'll look back and realize the beauty was in the struggle, or something to that effect. Because then once you arrive to a new level or some upgraded version of your life experience, just how we work as humans, you're probably already aspiring to something more. you know so it's something about really also taking the time to reflect upon the advancement that has already been made, um the what's the word, the progress that you've already made, and of course, and then too, the advancements that you already kind of work and operate out of which you have a very clear point of reference for when it was just very much so not the case. Case in point, to literally not too long before I pushed record, I just had a random thought like, oh, this sale time, I wonder, now don't judge me, but I wanted to see if Target had any leather moto jackets on sale, right? Because it's a good time to buy stuff like that during sale time. And Target is just, is always my first top of the mind, just to see what they have. I don't shop on there nearly as much, or certainly not even in store, nearly as much as I used to. I promise you I don't. But when I think about something that I need to be of somewhat decent quality and, comparable to my personal style, and not too expensive, of course, I always think about Target first. It's just natural. So I was like, let me just see what they got going on. So I did a quick little search, and lo and behold, nothing really, well, except for one thing that was, in my opinion, just far too expensive to purchase on Target. If you ask me, like, you might as well take your coins elsewhere. But nothing that I was really too excited about. There was even, I got rid of my jacket, the last modal jacket I bought, because it started kind of cracking around the neck for some reason, which was really strange. I don't even know why it started doing that. But I got rid of that one in my last wardrobe purge. And I was like, shoot, I'm gonna need another one of those, because I love me a moto in the fall. You feel me? So I went and I looked, and like I said, there was nothing too exciting. The one that I did have, that I might have even considered just replacing the same style, didn't have my size. And so I was like, oh well. I closed the app and I was like, well, I guess maybe it's time for an investment in something a little bit more substantial. Maybe a real, not a faux leather, but maybe a real leather jacket, or at least something that is going to be durable enough to last a couple years, perhaps, to really pull its weight. So that's just like a prime example in real time of how my natural inclination was connected to another season in time where, shoot, I was just happy, literally just happy to be able to buy that leather jacket at the time, years ago now, that I actually purchased it, which replaced some other things that I had lost, on account of trial and tribulation in my wardrobe. So I was just happy to have it. To now being in a place where I can choose up if I want to. I don't have to defect or what's the word, defer, I guess, to what's been easy, you know, and what's been safe. So something like that, you know what I mean? Just trying to give a practical um example, like literally in real time. Couldn't be no realer than just a few moments before I push record. All right, let's something in here. What is it? What is it? What is it? Oh my goodness! And look at this, the King of Pentacles. Well, that's confirming. There it is. Having the resource, the literally the wealth, the liberty, the options to reach back or reach forward or stay where you are. Like, it literally is, like, that is the luxury itself, you know, the array of options, to be in a position where you're no longer limited. That's the luxury. That clearly has been manifested. And here, that it makes practical sense, especially starting with the Chariot, because like I said, just being used to working hard for everything, putting blood, sweat, and tears into everything you do, preparing for the worst but hoping for the best, recovering when you get knocked down, or when you know you hit rock bottom, you have to start again, and always kind of like being in the habit of regenerating yourself and gearing up for another fight, you know, or another try, dusting yourself off from a failure, or, you know, I just can't even tell you how many ebbs and flows I've had. Well, I could tell you, but it's no, you know, I won't waste your time in this forum of how many ebbs and flows of being up to being down, to having, you know, to doing very well, to starting all over again, you know, so many different experiences. And then you start to just get used to that, you know, it becomes like just a way of life. But there's something grounded, consistent, stable that is being established here, where you literally don't feel like he's just chilling, just watching his money, you know. We all know the King of Pentacles is like the rich guy of the court cards. You know, he's the one that knows how to make a dollar, save a dollar, spend a dollar, invest a dollar. You know, did I say spend a dollar? Because he definitely knows how to do that. The one that's not shy about making quality investments that might, you know, err on the side of designer labels because they want quality for their purchase, you know, like baseline is something that is high value, you know, whether that be their clothes, their home, their car, their endeavors, their relationships, their encounters, more or less in the highest vibration. Of course, you can certainly err on the side of superficiality, or being too, you know, materialistic or whatever. But this is not that. This is actually more so finding your way, your comfort in this zone of prosperity and abundance, because as I've said, you're used to it not being a long lasting feature in your life. Oh man. It's like, just face it. You're wealthy. There's nothing in your life to be desired. There's nothing that you don't desire to have that you couldn't attain or achieve or work for or buy, perhaps in some cases, or attract or create. You know, like there literally is a limitlessness that's embodied by you, um, in a way that is very much so, like that is remarkable and perhaps even on display to some degree. You know, it's like you wouldn't be able to help but see someone's, or sense, I guess, someone's opulence, maybe in spirit or in truth, in their presence, in their appearance, in their presentation. It could even just be the energy that they bring to everything, like just that abundant, free flowing, anything's possible, optimistic, there's more than enough type of frequency that is, you know, it can be anyway. It could either be contagious and infectious or provocative. It just depends on where you are. It could be all inspiring, or it could be envy inspiring. It just all depends, you know. Wow. Come on, somebody. Oh, so, baby. I ain't talking about money for no reason. Somebody done cracked open the vault on their life, or the heavens have cracked open the vault, and they making it rain. They're making it rain on your ass. And it may seem exuberant. It may seem like, you know, almost, like I was saying before, overwhelming, like an overwhelming upgrade and transition, you know, like going from just enough, maybe sometimes not enough, to you can't even spend it in a lifetime if you tried. And because for as much as you spend, it's replenished all over again. That's the type of energy we're talking about here. Like every dollar you spend is returned to you 100-fold or 1,000-fold, or you know what I mean, something along those lines, where you literally charge your auric field to that degree or frequency of prosperity, where you don't even miss it. You can afford to give charitably, benevolently, and not even consider how it's returned to you. You can afford to make risky investments in yourself or in others. You can afford to make large purchases. You can afford to buy your house, your car in cash. You live debt free. Everything you buy, everything you purchase is outright, no debt attached, bills paid automatically. Like that's the type of flow we talking about here. And not only did someone manifest that ideal life for themselves, they actually worked tirelessly to obtain it. Like the work is there. With the Chariot, there was diligence, there was will, there was determination, there was resilience, there was tenacity, all the best things that you could consider like a noble warrior, the best characteristics, you know, like a courageous warrior to possess. It's already been shown and proved, and that's why the heavens are open. I'm hearing that's a gospel song. I just heard, but I can't think of how the rest of it goes. Open up a window, pouring out a blessing, pouring out a blessing you don't have room for. What is that song? Now I gotta know. Hold up. I just gotta know. But it's something about like, oh, the Lord is blessing me right now. Oh, right now. Something like that. Yes. And the part that I sang first is like the special part when like all the different voices sing something different, and that's the tenor's part. Open up a window, pour out. Yeah, here it is. What's the song? Oh, it's from the Bible verse. Open the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing comes from Malachi 3:10. God promises total provision and abundance. The test, God tells the people to try it and see if he will keep his word. The result, blessings arrive in a measure too large to contain, bro. Now, I was not prepared for that. Malachi chapter 3, verse 10. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive. Wow. I now didn't get to the song. Oh, here it is. We used to sing that in the kids' choir back in the day. I can't find it though. The Lord is. Yeah, that's not it, but it was definitely an amazing song. Look what's here with the 8. Here's the work. What's this? That's the end of that. For sure, with the star card. I was just trying to get the deck back together, so I made sure King of Wands, yeah, like you did the work, you made the investment. Now I was going to say about tithes, because that's definitely a religious aspect of specific to Christianity. But you can all, some Orthodox Christians may not agree with what I'm about to say, but to give it universal meaning, your offering, your sacrifice comes more than just in the form of money. It can also come in the form of, again, your diligence, your integrity, your commitment, your devotion, your time, your resilience against temptation. There are a number of ways, like your charity, your benevolence to others. Because there could have been a time when you didn't have, like I was just talking about, like you may not have had a tithe to give, which is basically like your offering to the divine as a portion of whatever you make, usually from what you gross, quite practically. And you may not have even had an income to offer a percentage of at a time, but whatever it is that you felt was a grace of the divine, you made sure to pay it back by paying it forward. You made sure to be a good steward of that harvest or of that bounty, whatever the case may be. Like that includes you as well, but especially when it comes to like taking care of self, time, even the reception of divine love, and an anointing of being a good steward over your anointing, when you had every reason, every temptation, every resistance not to. All of that is taken into account, and it's like the divine dared you at a particular time, maybe by circumstance alone, to trust, to stay devoted, to stay committed, to stay faithful, your faith, big time tithe, big time offering, to stay faithful. And you did so, even like I said, when you had to strap up, armor down, you know, shield your from shield head to toe, fight multiple enemies at once, and sometimes not even knowing what enemy was around any particular corner or whatever. Like, you still stayed the course. You tried it. You called the bluff of the divine to some degree. And now here's the bank. Yo. Mind you, you don't know this, but where I ended my pre-shuffle, the Ace of Cups was on the top of the deck, and the Ace of Pentacles was on the bottom. Just for a point of reference, just so you know, like how major this is. So it's like you're not only getting upgraded and exuberant choices in a material sense or financial sense, it's also spiritually. It's like you get first choice, you get first preference, you get favor, you know, are allowed to make your, you know, have your premium pick, you know what I'm saying? Like, and for it to be like expedited and shipped to you like express. You ain't even gotta go get it. All you like I said, all you have to do is rest, recover, and receive. It's coming to you. You don't have to do anything. You literally don't. Can you imagine? Like, you don't have to do anything. Let me get one more. It's like it's gonna show up in the mail, at your door, along your travels. Like, it meets you somewhere along your path, or something about it is going to be like either serendipitous or effortless to connect with, collide with, unite with. There's an elimination of exuberant effort here that is going to feel strange to a chariot energy that's used to putting in that work. I'm telling you, it's going to feel strange. It may even feel like I can't be worthy of this. Like, this is too much for me, or this is coming too easy, too good to be true. Like, all of that type of energy. No, it's not. You did what was impossible for some to fathom. You did in some ways what was beyond the expectation of the divine. You did in some ways what was expanded beyond your reasonable limitations, especially given all that you had to overcome and fight against, or to fight through, resist. So it's all fair game here, I'm telling you. Please believe me. Receive this bounty with an open heart. I'm about to throw the cards. I mean, I damn near did just now, as she just threw herself onto the Ten of Pentacles. I mean, bruh, can it be any more affirmative than what we're seeing right here, right now? Can it? I'm not sure it can. All that's left is to receive. That's what the Queen of Pentacles is. It's like you've been equipped, your character's been curated to know what to do with this abundance, with this bounty, with this fortune, with this favor, whatever we're talking about here. It's a lot. But you've been equipped, trained in combat, as a matter of fact, to manage it, to steward it wisely. And you should prepare yourself to just be in a constant state of reception, because like I said, the more you spend, the more you release, the more you share, the more is given unto you. And another song that I love is You Can't Beat God Giving. No matter how you try, as long as you are living and the Lord, I think, is on high, the more he gives, the more you give, he gives to you. Just keep on giving. I'm getting chills, because this much is true, that you can't beat God giving, no matter how you try. I love that little song, especially when the old folks used to sing it, because they sang it from the heart. You felt it when they were singing that in the old Baptist church, baby. Indeed, during offering time, for sure, for sure. Six of Swords, you are already in transition to a peaceful existence, to peaceful shores. You're already on your way. Or those shores are on their way to you, whichever the case may be. It's like this is already in motion. It's already active. Nothing can stop it, block it, detour it, transfer it, like create a whirlwind storm on the seas to, twister you back to some old timeline. It's like you're already operating fully on a fresh timeline in an age of abundance and infinite prosperity. What's this? This was an amazing reading. It hasn't been this good. I mean, I've been having some good ones, but this right here, you need to get ready. I mean, like, I don't even know. Like, there is no readiness other than just being, being where you are, being alert and in a perpetual state of gratitude. That's probably the only thing that you can do for yourself, to just start cultivating that relentless gratitude now, because you're not going to be able to understand the influx of prosperity and abundance. Like, you're not going to fully be able to wrap your head around it to make sense of it. So all that you can do literally is just surrender. Like, surrender to Thanksgiving. Surrender to grace and gratitude. And wise, intentional giving. Six of Swords and Six of Wands here. Where it's already done, it's already won. And like I said, here's the spectacle piece where, I don't know, for some you may need to employ some heightened level of security or obscurity to some degree, just for protection purposes. But as far as the fortune of you is concerned, and really more for comfort, I would say, like not out of fear, but just to be safe, you know, just to be able to go along and get along in your natural life without feeling a threat or feeling like you're particularly vulnerable to attack or anything in particular on account of this upgrade of lifestyle, you know. But it's happening. There, like I said, like you're just gonna have to deal with it. You're just gonna have to accept it. That this is happening. It's already happened. And it's just a matter of you fully being integrated with this new reality. 7:55 on the clock, lighting up. But it's a win for sure. Like it's definitely something, like it's remarkable. It's something to be proud of. It's something to take pride in, like in the most healthy way. It's something to fully embrace and allow to embrace you, because like I said, it might feel imbalanced in exchange, you know, the exuberance of reward and retreat and restoration that's underway, but it's not by divine standards. By human standards, it might feel so, but by divine standards, you've done more of a service to the divine agenda than you may ever know. You may never know just how appreciated you are to the advancement of creation by divine design, or by divine ordination. Yeah. So, congratulations. Job well done. If nobody has ever told you, I'm gonna let you know. That's what the heavens is saying to me if I ever heard it through this message. So, just relax, regenerate, be restored, and receive. Period. Thanks for listening and watching. Oh, it is so and so it is. Let me just close that right there. But thanks for listening and watching. Until next time, as always, I leave you with